Instead of scrolling through Instagram or Facebook, make use of your time to practice. Again, if you're serious about improving your skill. Now, let me go through the comments or the feedback made by Mr. Crispell about the student. So which country, by the way, did she come from?
India.
India. How did you know?
She talked about India.
Aha, she talked about India, but before those lines, before those answers of her, like during the first answer, during the first conversation, were you able to already get the origin of the place of birth of the student? Was it because of the accent? A little bit of an Indian English, right? But maybe because this lady here, maybe she was exposed more on the proper way of pronouncing the words, or maybe she could have lived in another country for quite some time, especially outside India, and so she was not able to really get how Indians also speak now. So for Indian English, for example, although they speak that way, but in IELTS, accent is not very important. Okay? Even if I speak using the Chinese English, still, I know that I can be understood. Okay? Even if I speak using some other accent, so for example, let me show you something before we proceed to the pair activity. Okay? Well, we are in an odd number tonight, so maybe some of you will have 3 members in a group, the rest will have by pair. Okay? This one, just about the accent, no? And again, although some accents are very hard to understand, that's already very obvious. But I'd like you all to pay attention to this. I may not show you all the accents because it will take us 12 minutes. But let's see if we can do this one for a while. Alright. Yeah, these are different accents in English. There are 67 from this video, but we may not be able to do all. Wait for a while. Wait for a while.
Since I've done in my previous videos, plus some new ones, and also a load of other voices that I've not shown before. Hope you enjoy it.
Okay. And check the accent that you are familiar with or that you're using now. Okay. Your accent may be similar to one of the accents you will be presenting.
So I was talking to this Russian bird in a pub the other night, right? And she was teaching me her language. I think I'm getting the hang of it now. Privyet, меня зовут Steve. Quality, mate. Have fun. Man got bare vexed the other day in a chicken and chip shop, you know. Cause man asked for 2 England chips for £1. But boss man only gave man 1 wing, bloody thing, mate. As long as you listen to the sound of my voice, you're going to be safe. All of the time, every time. Thank you for helping me help you. So a gentleman in a hooded jacket approached me the other day and said, "What have you got for me, Blad?" So one replied, "What on earth is a Blad? One has never heard of such a word in one's entire life." Yo, I have to get off the phone now, bruv, because my auntie Rajinda just arrived from India, so I'll call you back here. Don't forget to tell Saeed to come on FIFA later, innit? Sorry, Tariq, I can't come to Pakistan with you today, bro. I'm with my little cousin at Tulton Towers, waiting to go on Rubadingi Rapids, man. So I was driving down the road the other day in my tractor, and this idiot zoomed past me shouting, "Green Army!" I mean, you can't do that in the middle of the road. He almost hit another car. So I walked all up and down the country, and guess what I found? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I just gave up and went home. Hey up, what are you lot doing up here? I thought I told you to go to shops and get me some grub. I'm bloody starving, and don't tell me you don't know where they are, because I told you the other day. Mate, I'm absolutely gutted. My girlfriend left me, and no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, she won't take me back. All I wanted for dinner was curry and chips. But But now my oven's broke and I'm sad. It only took me about 18 minutes to find what I was looking for at 2:35 a.m. You know, I can tolerate being called British, but if you ever cross the line and call me English, I will snap your wee neck. You got that, pal? Now let me tell you something. Plaid Cymru is the one true party of Wales, and in the UK general election, you should have voted for them. Now it's time to declare my favourite number. My favourite number is the number 2, and you better slow down with your food, mate, you're gonna chop now. Right, I don't think the Gardaí's going to listen to your excuse about why you were driving up the motorway with a pint of Guinness in one hand and a bottle of Bombers in the other. How did you even steer? So I put a peanut butter jelly sandwich in the refrigerator, and I came back later and it had turned black. And I'm like, that's weird, man, like what the hell? What, you think I'm funny? Well, like a clown funny? Hey, relax, I'm just breaking your balls. Come on, sit down, have a cup of coffee. Whack him when he's not looking. There was once a time when we didn't have to worry about big critters coming in our yard, but now I think we got an infestation. Looks like we need to call Turtle Man. Hey there! Now I gotta tell y'all something about Marianne. She looks nice from behind, but when she turn around, she got a face like a can of dog food. Marianne, another beer, please. Hey, hold up, dude. I'm not gonna use that word. That ain't cool. I ain't do that. That's a derogatory term, fool. So I said to him, I love your sister, man. And he said, you can't have her. I said, what are you talking about, man? We're together. There's no ownership involved, that's it. Whenever I go to England, they're always like, are you American? I'm like, get out of here, man. I'm Canadian. It's about time you learn the difference, eh? So me look up Pitney just run up in the shop and him say, Daddy, me want that and that and that and that. And me say, you can't have all that, boy. Money don't grow on trees, you know. There has been some rumors that my restaurant is not the finest in all of Paris. These people are fools. They know nothing about food. What is it with the spiders? They come into my room, I squash them, then another one comes in. I want to know what goes on inside their little brain. They are crazy, yeah? I have added you on the Facebook, but you need to accept my request so we can talk on there because my phone bill is too high. Ciao. Here, it's Yakov here. We have a buyer for the Soviet antique hat collection. He has already deposited the money directly into our account. We are going to be rich! Hurrah! 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 Okay, what you need to do is go into settings, go to network, put in the administrator's password, then click reset all internet data. So I look up into the dark black night sky, and I see all the wonder of the universe before me, all the stars arranged in a certain way, a universe of infinite possibility. So, this guy thinks because he can imitate a lot of accents. He's strong? He's a fool. I cannot do Japanese without sounding like a somebody must from a Hollywood movie. Hello, class. Today we're going to be learning about the entire history of Australia, everything you need to know about Australia, and what it means to be an Australian citizen. Mate, do I care? No, I don't. I just want to sit by the barbie with a can of Foster's and not care about life, okay? So it took about 10 minutes to bake about 6 cakes. I kind of burned them just a little bit. At least I tried though, eh? Oh no! I got a $500 fine, bro. That can't be right. I only stopped for about 6 minutes to get some chips. I didn't realise there was no parking. So let me ask you, what is this, eh? It's a little parrot, but it's not applicable. Now what did you do in your paper aeroplane, man? Hello. I just want to remind you that anybody that will cause a nightmare to me, I'll do with you. Even your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your daughter, or your son. They all started to run away. I don't know why they are running away. There is nothing to be frightened of. Everybody here is very safe. Hey, shut up! You didn't reach man. You think I'm 12 years old? I know you I'm the biggest Batman in the whole school blood. And I'm a done and even older man shook me. Happy birthday to you. I went to zoo. I saw the fat monkey, and I thought it were you. Dude, that's like totally rad, man. Like, dude, like how did you even do that, man? Like, dude, man, whoa. Do I look good? Hair of the future. Camera rolling.
Where will you be when the atomic bombs fall? I know where I'll be. I'll be hiding under your mother's bed. It's
Can we really?
In other news, studies report that if you can master the art of speaking Prussian like you have a pepper in your nose, your voice will be adequate for broadcast.
Excuse me, young man, I don't quite like your tone. Back in my day, we were a little clip round here, if we spoke like that. Now go on, don't let me sing around here again. Yeah, I totally agree with the British guy. Kids these days have got no respect. All they do is act like the world owes them something while they stare at their little gizmo gadget things all day.
I didn't take the cookie. It wasn't me. It was Mr. Google Bear. No lie. I tell true. Yeah, it's true. Honest.
So, after many years of research, I have discovered the secret formula to create mind control neurons that can be injected into the water supply to control the entire population. Ah, damn British guy stole my idea. Wait till I get my hands on his research, then we'll see who's the smartest. But in the meantime, let me get back to my secret experiment. Oh, it's so interesting.
Highlight number 15.
Hey there, honey buns. Have you ever been to England? Like, I really want to go. Like, it looks so cool. Like, their accents and, like, I want to shake hands with the Queen. Like, oh my God. Yeah, I went to England once. It was nice, but when I saw something I didn't like, I was like, 999. And they were like, what is your emergency? Aha! And what you like yourself, old ninny? Next time, save it for a real emergency. You're right, though, babes. I do like a bit of Dutch slang if I do say so myself. Aha!
Whenever I try to speak like it.
Okay, I'll end there. A lot of accents are still available, but we may now be able to also familiarize all of them. Which of the accents do you think you're using right now? Let me ask the question to you. Which accent do you think you're using right now? Like it has a similar sound with that kind of accent. Which accent are you using now?
American accent.
American accent, okay. What else? Mostly American? Aha, hopefully. Because again, when it comes to the other accents, if you notice, without the subtitle, I believe we may not be able to also understand what they're saying. Am I right? But it's a good thing that they have the subtitles placed in there because it helps us better understand what they're trying to say. And that's again the danger with not being able to pronounce the words very carefully. But there were some, okay, there were some accents, although not familiar to us, but still we can understand what they're saying. As if you're being chased by a wild cat or a lion. Now you need to hurry because you're about to be, devoured by that lion or tiger. You also don't need to speak very slow, as if you have the entire time or entire day with you. You know what I'm saying about speaking very slow, as if you're a snail or a turtle. But again, things like this are important for us to remember, especially with the speaking test. Now let's talk about high-level pronunciation features. Now there are two things that I'd like to stress here based from the feedback as well of Mr. Crispell. Number one was about intonation related to stress. Okay, so I gave this one also to the previous class. For example, the word general. Stress is about how we pronounce a certain word. How do we increase our tone and also decrease or lower our tone? First and foremost, we have to remember that a word has syllables. Syllables are the divisions of a word. For example here, ra. So these are called syllables. First syllable, second syllable, third syllable. Some words have 4, 5, 6, and sometimes 7, but mostly 3 or 4. Okay? Now, stress is this. For example, if the stress is here, okay, sometimes it is like this. No? It depends. But again, if the stress is on the third syllable, that word will be read as general. General. Like what is your father's job in the army? Or position in the army? And you say, oh, my father is the general. But is that really the correct pronunciation of that word? No, right? Now, if the stress is on the second syllable, general. Yes, my father is a general in the Mongolian army. Really? General? What is general? So if general is not the correct one, maybe the first syllable. General. 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 Okay? Notice that? Of course, when you read it, you don't say general. You don't do it that way, but do it in a way that is natural. Let's say, oh, what is your father's job? Or father's work in the army? Oh, he's a general. He's a general. Okay? General. Do it in a natural way. General. Clear? General, not general. Why? Because teacher, you told us that we have to stress. Put the stress on the first syllable. So we just copied you and saying general. Okay? But of course, I didn't tell you that. What I told you was to do it in a natural way. This one. Where is the stress for that word? Oh, I'm sorry. I'll just transfer that word here. So you have this word. How many syllables? 4. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, where is the stress? Okay, if we do the 4th syllable, what is then the pronunciation of the word? Category. Category. Alright? Because we have to increase, right? We have to do an upward intonation. But is it the 4th syllable? No. How the 3rd syllable? Category. 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 Is that correct? No. 2nd syllable. Category. Category. Not as well? How about the 1st syllable? Category. Category or category. So which is the correct pronunciation? Which syllable? The 1st syllable. Category. Okay. Teacher, what is the category? Okay. All right. With words that have only 1 syllable, it's simple. For example, of course, you say but. It's just down. There's no stress. No stress. But. You say but unless if there's an emotion attached to it, but usually we just say but. Alright? This one, how about this one? Let's say the word, this word. How many syllables are in here? 5? So you have accommodation. So there are 5 syllables, right? But where is the stress? Accommodation. 3rd syllable. Accommodation. 1st syllable, how should you read that then? 4th? How should you read that word? Accommodation. Nice try. This one, is this a verb or a noun? A noun, okay? What is the verb form of this, by the way? Because sometimes class, the noun form and the verb form will have different pronunciation. The same with this word. If it is used as a noun and used as a verb, they have different pronunciation, right? This one. So if it is a noun like the book, let's say I will get your scores, I will put that on my record book. I say record, no, my record book, my record notebook, your record. Okay, but if it's used as a verb, like okay, class, give me your score because I will record your scores. So record as a verb. So this one here, the verb form of this is accommodate. Am I right? But do they have the same pronunciation? Okay, you said what was the stress that you mentioned? Which syllable?
4th.
The 4th one, accommodation. Accommodation, is that it? Accommodation. How else, by the way, teacher, if I'm not very sure, how would I know? How else would I know? Let's say the, what is this one? The stress of something. Okay, I'll show you another technique that you can possibly do. Wait for a while because it's taking some time. Wait. So there are also ways for you to know, okay? Okay, like this one here. Actually, yours is correct, but let's just do this one together. What is the syllable that is highlighted? The fourth one, right? Yeah, you may use actually, but you also need to check which accent are you using. If it's British, that's it. How about American? Okay, let's listen.
Accommodation.
Accommodation. Accommodation. Accommodation. Alright? That's American, right? Let's try British.
Accommodation.
Accommodation, because how British people speak, as if like they speak using their nose. Oh, nation. Something like that. I mean, that's British, right? What a water. So like, including their noses are speaking. That's always about the British, okay? The American is the relaxed way. The British is like the complicated way, okay? Accommodation. 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 Alright? So that's it. But how about the verb form? Is it still like accommodate? Accommodate. Is that it? How many syllables do we have here? 4 syllables. Where's the stress? This is a noun, like accommodation, houses. This is a verb. So this time, second is fourth, no? Accommodate. Accommodate. But the noun for accommodation. Accommodation. Clear? So that is what we mean, class, about intonation or stress. Not the stress that you can get from your teachers or from your parents or from your classmate or from a friend who just got heartbroken and you're talking about him or her and so on. No, not that kind of stress, okay? Connected speech. This one is also very important, class, connected speech. So when we read a certain text, for example, let me give you an example. Okay, for a while, just give me some time. Okay, for example, this one here. Alright? Now, for the connected speech, this one is not the same with reported speech, okay? Reported speech is a grammar thing. Correct? Connected speech is a pronunciation topic or it's a pronunciation thing. Now, connected speech is how we read the words as if they are just one single word. For example, this one. Imagine reading this one like this, huh? It is better to practice a little bit every day. Is that how you read this one? Now, connected speech is asking you to read this sentence and putting other words together. Okay? Connect them. Although not all of them, but there are words you have to connect. For example, this one. It'll say it is better. But when you say it is, right? It is. It is better to practice a little. What? It is better to practice a little bit. A little bit. It is better to practice a little bit every day and improve your skills. Improve your skills. Improve your skills. You don't say improve your skills. No, we don't do it that way. Connected speech is like that. So in terms of pronunciation, we have to master that really. Otherwise, we may sound like a robot. Okay? Or we may sound like Siri. No? Or we may sound like someone, hey Siri, and then Not you. Anyway, so we may sound like, an automated one, an automated response like Siri and so on. So things like this, remember about kind of speech. So we say, it is better to practice a little bit every day and improve your skills gradually than to speak your native language all week until you have an IELTS class. You'll find more advice for IELTS speaking practice here. So if you notice, I connected some of the words as if they are just one single word, okay? So that's for connected speech. Are these things clear? Now for vocab, this is very simple. If the topic is, example, the question is, what is your favorite, describe your favorite, let's say favorite gadget. Yeah, gadget can be a cell phone, a laptop, an iPad, what else? Tablet, things like this. A smartwatch can also be a gadget. Now, an Apple Watch rather than a smartwatch. Okay. Now the question is describe, right? Describe a gadget, and then you said, oh, my phone is delicious. Oh, really? All right. So yeah, the word delicious is a word in English. Am I right? But is it the right word to describe your cell phone? No. That is what I mean about topic-specific words. Remember that when you're being asked a question to describe something, let's say, please describe your school. Okay, describe your school. How would you describe your school? School in general, In general, not your classroom, but your school in general. How would you describe your classroom? Yeah, give me a description of classroom. Each of you, give me a description of your classroom. Of your school, rather.
Noisy.
Oh, noisy. Okay. What else? Fun. School is fun. I'm talking about. Yeah. So we may not use that word then. If your school is a big one, what is the right word to use for that? Just to say big. Big is a very simple word. In vocabulary, that is just like a low vocab. Huge. What else? Spacious. A lot of spaces. Massive. Massive. It's really like the entire Sukmatar Square is your school, alright, or something like that. No? So again, although big is a word, but it's very simple. It's very common. I have a big school, okay? But describe to us how big is it? So that one. So you may have huge or massive or spacious. Your school may be, you may say that your school either is a public or a private school. That's also a description of your school, right? It is a public school, it is a private school. My school is located near the city center. Or your school has, let's say, 20 buildings. We never know. Okay? Like for example, if you visit Harvard and some other universities abroad, they have a lot of buildings, right? And a lot of campuses. Okay? So something like that. Okay? In Mongolia, I noticed that the university is big, but the bigness of it is like in terms of height. Okay? The height and also some other buildings. So in other countries, for example, this building, within, let's say, 10,000 hectares of land, that's just the school, and then there is the medicine, the education, but just the same campus. But in Mongolia, there is, the University of Education, I don't know, what is it called? MUBIS. MUBIS is for education, am I right? Yes. MUBIS, education, then the other, over there is the University of Humanities, and then you also have UFE, near Bukit Urgul, University of Finance and Economics. So different clusters, but I think the same common practice. So that's it. For the vocab, remember, it has to be topic, specific words. So whatever the question is, you use words related to that. Grammar. The tenses. If the question is about in the past, let's say, what did you do on your birthdays when you were still a child? Of course, you have to recall those that happened in the past, right? So we have to use the past tense there. When I was a child, I used to play with my friends. We usually I usually spend my birthday on a restaurant together with my friends. We had some fun. We were so happy, blah blah blah. But again, it has to be the past tense, okay? For sentence structures, you need to develop well your sentences. Do not just write, say, what is your favorite color? Blue. I like it. It's nice. That's very simple, okay? Try to, elaborate further. Why blue? Why is blue your favorite color? Why is it your favorite color? What makes it special for you? Something like that. Fluency and coherence. It's about, for fluency class, answering the question directly. For example, the question is, are there a lot of museums in your country? Museums, okay? Have you been to a museum? Yeah. So, are there a lot of museums in your country? And you would say, well, museums in our country are very important to us because they have kept all that happened in the past. And museums are big, blah, blah, blah. But the question is, are there a lot of museums in your country? What should be your answer? You may say there are plenty of them. There are a number of them, especially here in Ulaanbaatar city. Do not give us a story like museums are very important for a person. Because in there you can find a lot of what? Artifacts, fossils, statues. No, we don't care about that. If I'm the examiner, I would say, no, I don't care about your story. I care about whether or not there are a lot of museums. You may say there are plenty of them, there are many of them, there are a number of them. Okay, and then you give an example. The pattern class I usually give to my students is this. You state your answer, you explain, and then provide example. Let's say the question again is, are there a lot of museums in your country? Answer, there are a lot of them, or there are plenty of them. In fact, some of them are found here in the Ulaanbaatar city, scattered all throughout the city center. In every district you can find a museum. As an example, we have the Genghis Khan National Museum. It is a 9-floor story building composed of many artifacts, including statues, fossil fuels, objects of the past, life of Genghis Khan, the grandsons, or whatever is in there. So, again, you answer, you explain. You may also tell the examiner why. Why are there a lot of museums in your country? Because, again, Mongolians love to keep the memory of the past. And that's very evident. And that's the museum. That's the museum's purpose. Okay, not for you to play. We're not going to play there. It's not a place for you to eat and die. No, not also, right? It's for you to remember what happened in the past. So answer, explanation, and then examples. All right. This time, our time is 8:11. I will give you 1 minute. 5 minutes rather. I'll be classifying you as pairs, but since we are in odd number tonight, the 3 of you there will just serve as one group, okay? So the 3 of you there will just serve as one group. The rest in pairs, so you don't need to transfer from one seat to another. All right. So the part 1 class of the IELTS exam, IELTS speaking, is all about personal questions. Questions like, what do you do during your free time? Do you like traveling? What is your favorite animal? What else? What is your favorite dish? Questions like this are all personal questions. By the way, do not include questions related to love and romance. For example, do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a boyfriend? Questions like this are not included in the IELTS speaking test, okay? But questions like, what is love for you? That can be. But things that are very personal and very private, all right? Like, how often do you meet in a week? Where do you meet? Those are very private already. Okay? You have to write 10 questions, 10 personal questions about someone, or let's say a topic that is personal, but not very personal. So one topic is weather. What is your favorite weather? Second topic would be about a pet. Do you think cats are adorable? Something like that, no? Number 3, the topic is about school. Who is your favorite teacher at school? Alright? Things like this. Kindly write down 10 questions. After writing them down for 10 minutes, you have to throw your questions to your partner. Let's say, for example, Hassan, his questions, you have to throw your questions to Anu. Okay? And then after those 10 questions, it will be Anu's turn to ask you her questions. Okay? Now for the 3 of you there, you just decide whoever will begin. And let's say for example, Sundariya will ask Odon Jargal will ask Muk Jablan, and Muk Jablan will ask Sundariya. Okay? Just 10 questions, 10 personal questions. So too with the rest of you there, Anujin and Davadula.